We're back in action.
We're back.
We're back. I'm back from Memphis.
You're back from Memphis.
And our Taco Bell is back. All is right with the world.
Well, speaking of fast food, let's just go ahead and say it for
show your hat.
Those who are watching. You see me. This is where you're going to zoom in, right?
Yep, and you're going to have to lift up the top part of your thing.
Oh,
so
shoot.
There it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Y'all see this?
Zesty Buffalo.
Zesty Buffalo sauce hat. Chick-fil-A has merch.
Chick-fil-A, and filet is for the
chicken fillet.
Chicken filet.
Okay, so Chick-fil-A has merch, and I'm telling y'all, I've got a feeling that this merch, that they're gonna like drop it, and then it's gonna just run out, and then that's gonna be it.
So you better act fast.
Act now.
Act now. And Kristen's going to get me a Polynesian hat.
Yes, because we don't think we've ever had Chick-fil-A together.
I don't recall a time that we've ever had Chick-fil-A.
I don't think we have, because I said, sure, I showed her the hat. I said, surely you're also eating Zesty Buffalo. She said, no, I'm a Polynesian girl.
I'm a Polynesian girl. You know, I already get such bad acid reflux that I'm really having to check myself on spicy food.
Oh.
And it makes me sad, because I like spicy food.
I know.
I'm fine with it.
Yes.
But I don't think we've ever had Chick-fil-A. There are so many things we have not eaten together, and that's what we're realizing in doing this podcast. Because we eat a lot together.
We eat a lot together, but maybe
we go sit down at restaurants so much.
Yeah, we're not.
And if we're running through, we are behind each other sometimes.
Yeah.
Like your family's in front of mine, I'm following you.
That's true.
We might do a run through, but it's McDonald's usually. I feel
it's McDonald's, it's a Wendy's, or it's a Taco Bell.
Right, but not a Chick-fil-A.
But let's just go ahead and talk about favorite things that we have eaten.
From Chick-fil-A?
Just in general, because your dad was mad that we aren't sticking to the program.
Mm-hmm. He said, you've sold me a bag of lies. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we did start this by saying, what's the best thing we've eaten all week? And then we started recording 4 episodes a week. Doing all these part 1s, part 2s, part 3. That's on me.
Yeah.
Some of those are on me. I get that. But it was just hard to keep up with what's the best thing I've eaten when we're releasing 4 a week.
I know it. But you know what?
Sometimes we don't eat that delicious of food all the time. Sometimes it's just the normal.
But surely over this weekend you had something good.
Oh yeah, when I was in Memphis, they treated us very well and were feeding us incredible food, and they were really good with people's dietary restrictions, which is always so sweet.
Yes.
The vegans were represented, the gluten-frees, the dairy-frees, the paleo.
This is 2023 America, y'all.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and St. Jude took very good care of all of that. But yeah, I had great food everywhere that we went, and we stayed at the Peabody, and that hotel just killed it.
Had all the things.
All the things. And you go on St. Jude's campus, so I don't know if they were using some caterers, some hotel.
Yeah, I wonder.
But yeah, everything was delicious. On the St. Jude campus day, we were going into the Domino's building, because Domino's is a huge sponsor for St. Jude. And we were going into that building, so everyone's like, oh, are we getting Domino's pizza? I said, no, they're like a humongous.
Yeah. The name is carved into the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said, well, maybe, but I don't.
But I like that they were excited about Domino's.
Yeah, everyone was very excited about it.
I'm excited about Domino's.
Instead, they did a beautiful like pesto chicken over grilled veggies and had a really good hunk of bread with it and salty butter to slather on it. And
okay. That sounds right.
It was just right. What about you?
My Mother's Day gift was a Blackstone grill.
Yes, and that's one of your favorite places that I have not eaten with you at, so I can't attest.
No. A Blackstone grill.
That thing. But what's the place that you got the gift card for something, or Matt took you to it, and you usually like the steak.
I know what you're talking
about.
What
is that place called that y'all love?
Well, there's Steak 48, but I think you're talking about...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I know what you're talking about.
But for some reason, I thought of Blackstone Grill, but that's the thing you put on top of.
Yes. Okay, so a Blackstone... There's different... Listen, Blackstone is a lifestyle. That's the first thing I'm going to say. I am finding out...
You identify as a Blackstone griller. Got it.
There are Facebook groups that you can deep dive on the Blackstone lifestyle.
And is it a hibachi thing?
Yes. So So, for example, Doug, my cousin Doug, he has 2 of them because they love to camp, and he has them attached to his camper.
Yes.
Right? So people use them for different things, whatever. But now you can buy a Blackstone grill just as you would buy any standalone grill in a Lowe's.
Okay.
That it's got that hibachi surface with a lid. So you're truly a hibachi chef making all your food on this thing.
Have you learned the egg trick?
When I tell you that I've got all those tools, and last night on my grill, I was going ding 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 ding, and I'm gonna work on the egg trick.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna work on flipping shrimp into your
Yeah.
mouth.
Just cutting off a little piece and then open mouth.
Open mouth.
And you got it.
I'll squirt a little sake in there too.
Ooh, that sounds
But
good.
so all the great things I've eaten in the last week
Have all been
have
on this.
been made by me.
Yes, because let me tell y'all this. I don't think people would know that you have always been the griller in your
And
house.
my family.
I am the griller too in
Yeah.
my family.
Isn't that funny?
It is funny.
It's
because-
usually the dad, and it's the dad jokes about the grilling and the New Balance shoes
and
with
the
the white socks.
yeah, and the apron
Yeah.
and the like kiss me, I'm the cook
No,
and the whole thing.
We're the grillers.
We're always the grillers. Now we haven't had a grill in so long because when we went to condo living,
oh
we
yeah.
couldn't have one.
Well,
And
I'm going to suggest this Blackstone one to you.
well, I'm going to do it, and I'm
Because
going to take your
also
suggestion.
the price was right. We were in Lowe's looking at all the different prices. Ours was shot. I needed a new one.
Yeah,
And I said, this is the same price. So for some reason in my head, I had built it up that it was thousands of
kind
dollars
of like
or
the
something.
green egg ones. It's
Oh.
similar to like the
Oh,
big
where's the
green
big
egg.
dome?
Like,
yeah.
Those are not. There's the
There's
train.
the train.
Oh my
Again.
gosh, that is so weird. But I do want to know where it went for a month
I know.
or two. But yeah, those big green eggs, they're a grill, so you think, oh, it's just a grill.
Yeah.
But no, those prices are not the same.
Right, and so I think that's
as
what
regular,
I had in
and
my
that's
head.
probably what you did. Yeah.
But it was, I don't know.
Couple hundred?
Yeah, I think it was like 300.
Oh, that's
350,
great.
something like that. And listen, I love a traditional grill. I do love like a flame broiled situation. I do
Yeah.
love that. But there's something
Those
about
grill
this
marks.
that is opening up a whole new world of my entire meal can be cooked on this.
Yes.
My entire breakfast can be cooked
Yes.
on this. The pancakes, the
Mhm.
bacon and the eggs, and
Mhm.
everything on this hibachi grill. And I freaking love it.
My dad has always had a humongous, because of our family reunions.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we cook everything because we camp out the whole time, and everything has to be either over the campfire or it has to be on the stove.
Yeah.
You know, on a grill stove. And he's always had the big flat. My dad can hibachi like no one.
Ooh.
But this is more man. I mean, that thing is so big.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it
And they
takes
have
up-
some of those huge ones in the Lowe's, but this one definitely is like just the right size for, you know, even hosting, hanging out. Like Mother's Day, we had people over and
Yeah.
did a bunch of burgers and hot dogs. It was
I'm
great.
excited for you to cook for me on it.
Yeah, guess what I made last night?
What'd you make?
Speedies on.
You did.
I made
yes.
And my
Yes.
parents had come over, and I
Okay.
had said I was planning on making this anyway. I had a ton of the chicken, so I made it. They had never had Speedies before.
Did they love them?
They
Freaked out.
freaked.
I love that.
They said this is so juicy.
It's so juicy.
tender.
It's so
tangy.
flavorful. It's got a great tang to it. It's the vinegar in there. It's the spices that are used.
Oh,
Y'all, our northerners are probably nodding their heads, going,
yes.
"Oh my gosh, you'll know about."
Because I never
Speedies."
knew about it until you.
So Mary brought Speedies down from upstate New York, and there's two big camps. There's Lupo's and there's Salamitas. Salamitas is who ended up sponsoring me.
Yeah.
They took care of us during our run. You could buy it at Harris Teeter's.
Yes.
So I was always buying the Salamitas, and it is so good. So good. I hear that there maybe has been a shortage or something. Don't quote me on that.
Oh.
But you can get it on Amazon or even
Okay.
on their website.
Okay.
But they send it to me like every 3 months, and then I give you some, and I give my
Yeah.
mom some. Their marinades, their pinches,
All,
everything
I mean,
is
all
so
of
good.
their stuff is so good.
So good.
Yeah. So
And
I
a ton of
used-
it's gluten free.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and so that's what I used last night. The Salamitas. They loved it.
Mm.
Whipped that up. Had some rice. Had some salad.
Great.
But I'm
Mm.
gonna just roll into this since we're talking about it.
Okay.
So, my parents are over.
Yeah.
We're chit chatting on the back porch. We're eating. I had sent them the picture of you and Kate,
Okay.
and at first, you know,
Oh, I love that you sent it to your
I know,
parents.
a couple weeks ago, because my mom loves William and Kate.
Well, yeah,
a
they
lot
came as King Charles and
Yeah.
Camilla for Halloween.
for Halloween.
Yeah.
So they really like love all the royal
Yes,
stuff. So
yes,
I had
yes.
sent this to them, and at first they thought it was like a joke. They thought it was Photoshop or something. So I finally convinced them, like, no, this is real. This is happening.
Yeah.
So I had not seen them since I sent that photo. So we eat, and then they were like, please tell us more about this. How did this come to be? Well, of course, I'm like, London episode 2 of the podcast. So I sent them, I said, let me text it to you right now. Here's episode 2. You can listen to
Yes.
it and actually hear how this came to be.
Yes.
But we went on your story, your saved highlight bubble.
Yes.
And I just clicked through to kind of show them, because they were just like, how did she know where to be and all the things? So I clicked through, we're watching your stories. My mom begins sobbing.
No way.
At the table.
Oh, because she was so moved?
She was so moved.
Aww.
And she was crying. And my dad was like, are you okay? And she needed a napkin.
Oh my gosh.
I said, is it because it's so neat to see someone follow through with their dreams? And she said, yes.
Aww.
And I said, Mom, that day that this was unfolding, all of us were crying like this. I could barely choke out the words to Matt. I said, so now you're seeing what we were seeing. And she was just sobbing for you.
That is so sweet, Pam.
Okay, Pam, so we're going to take a little heat off of you a little bit.
A little bit. Well, were you able to convince her to listen? Like...
Well, they were. Yeah, they were like, okay, send us that episode. So I sent it to them. We'll see if they listen.
I think that there needs to just be a follow-up.
I think so.
I think if they would just listen to one. I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe that people have a preconceived notion about what a podcast is. I don't.
Totally.
I can't figure out what it is. It's just a conversation between two people that's being recorded.
I know. But I think in some ways...
Our parents grew up on the radio. This is what DJs were
yes!
doing. What are we doing?
I think they think, like, just people in general think, maybe that sounds boring, or that how is that interesting if I can't see it? But the beauty of a podcast is you take that wherever you are.
On a walk.
On a walk.
In
on
your
a
car.
On a drive. Like, that's the best part. And if you find people or topics that you love...
Yes.
You're just entertained all day.
I never thought I'd be a podcast person, and I don't know why in my brain I couldn't get there. But I just, I think I'm a visual person, maybe, is why. Sure. And then I started to get into podcasts, and now I can't imagine not having them. But before we started this, I would say, oh, I really wish I can't find the time to listen to Heather's.
Yeah.
I can't find the hour. Oh, I'm never alone. There's never silence, whatever. And then now that we've started it and it's a priority, I find that time.
I know.
To listen to it.
I know.
So it was always there.
It was always there.
How did you want to prioritize
what are your priorities? And that could be a little bit that's happening with Don and Pam. Is just like they're busy and doing the things, but they drive back and forth to the beach.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. It would be a perfect time. Do they listen to books on tape? Do they listen to
my mom loves her music.
She does love her music. She would have to give up 1 hour a week of music.
Of her music. I think in another life my mom wanted to be a DJ.
Literally listening to
she will walk around with the phone speaker up to her ear. Like, do I need to just buy my mom headphones?
Maybe you need to buy her AirPods.
Some AirPod, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just that would help. She's walking around at Kristen's hoedown. Just walking around with her phone up to her ear. And I thought, you know what? Game recognizes game. Age recognizes age. You know what I'm saying?
It was.
Because I just got my first pair of AirPods in December.
You did. Ever. You did. Your earbuds.
I called them earbuds because I could never commit to AirPods. And so, and the only reason why I got them is I won them at a Christmas party.
Oh my gosh.
I would have never bought them for myself. I would have never. So,
no.
So I do think that would help, and maybe it would also help her listen to our podcast.
Well, did I show you what Matt got me for part of my birthday? Oh, I did. That he got me these babies. These are...
You have not shown me these. Look at the little cute carrying case.
These are AirPods, but they're the, like...
Oh, these are fancy.
Yeah. Like, they wirelessly connect. Because he was like... Because now when I am editing and stuff, I can go to the coffee shop, whatever, and I've got these bad boys.
Wow. And are they noise canceling? Is that what's... You
after
can't hear anything.
I am going to put these on you. There's a button you press, and when you press that button, everything is wiped out. You can't hear the air conditioning.
Nothing.
You can't hear anything. It's just silence. It's wild. Wouldn't like it when I sleep.
No,
but it is good for editing and kind of tuning out.
I'm gonna do that
in the background.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had to just tell you that because Pam cried for you, and I thought that was really sweet.
That is so tender.
She was overcome with emotion, and she said she met the queen. Yeah. Like, that's what that meant to her, was like, you, because we know that that's going to happen.
Yes.
She said, you met the queen.
I sure did.
So.
And it was exhilarating, and I'm still on such a high from it.
Yes.
You can't bring me down.
No.
You can try.
That people are trying in these streets.
They'll try, and they can't. They can't, they shan't, and they won't.
So, do we want to talk about VPR for just a beat?
Yeah, we can talk about VPR because we both seen the reunion from last night. We stayed up late to do it.
I watched it this morning. Can you believe it?
You watched it this morning.
I know. I didn't watch it last night.
Okay, I watched it. We came home early from trivia.
Wow.
So I could watch VPR live last night. But it was... I had just got back from Memphis a couple hours earlier. My whole family did want to talk to me the entire time.
Yeah.
And I said, "This is live." Commercials, like we
commercials. Yes.
No. So then I stayed up late enough to watch it the second time last night. But it's okay because I had to watch the end of the Canes Panthers game.
Okay.
Too. The hockey game because our dear friend Emily Fee, her husband, is a coach for the Florida Panthers.
That's right. I saw you post
and now they're going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh my gosh, is she so excited?
They're so excited. They're freaking out. They
I gotta
cannot
look
believe
at her
it.
page.
It was just this is his first year in Florida, and they're going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Good for him.
I'm so thrilled for him.
Love that.
I know, and we just love Emily.
She's great. And she introduced us to those lobster roll things.
She sure.
What was it?
The pretzels.
The pretzel bites.
The mini pretzels with the lobster and the inside. Should we make some of those for Memorial Day?
Please.
I will. I'll do that for you. I'll do that for you.
Also, I'm only bringing like American flag themed clothes.
Obviously.
Because I don't want to even have to use my brain to pack. So I was like, if I just know I'm
and you have
America,
so much of it.
Yeah. If it's just America stuff, then I don't. So
easy peasy.
Friday through Monday, that's what you're
Okay, red, white, and blue. Got it. I am going to get my nails hopefully redone tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Because I am still rocking my London nails. And two of them have broken.
You could do just a little American flag on
I know.
now.
So I think that it's time that...
It's time they're both broken. Or no, the one is still long.
My middle finger here. Oh. And then these. Now I did save that one. But I went to Memphis looking janky on this press trip for St. Jude. And, but whatever. And look how grown out they are.
I mean, look at this. The bottom part, you guys, is like 1/2 inch of nail.
I know. It's time. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow.
They grow so fast.
My nails grow fast. My hair grows fast.
It's crazy.
Everything is working inside of my body. We've talked about this.
Yes.
Everything, all of the right things for that work.
They work just so good.
The weight loss and the sleep.
Yeah.
That my body, that's the tough one, you know? Everything else, Gucci good.
We all
the skin, the hair, the nails.
We all
of that's
pebble in our shoe.
We all have something.
Yeah.
So VPR.
What did you think? It was everything I wanted. I loved the sit-down interviews before.
Yeah. Well, did you feel like Andy was sitting very close to, like, I feel like Tom and him could have been playing footsie the whole time. And maybe he wanted to.
Yeah, it's like their knees were almost touching.
It was uncomfortably close.
Yeah.
I thought we could just back the camera up.
I wondered why they did that. Maybe they built the set too small. I don't know, but I loved those interviews.
Me too.
You know, Rachel is just... I'm going to use the D and the S word. She's dumb and she's stupid. Okay? She is.
You can tell that James said it to her too much in their relationship, so he had to start just using the letters to not hurt her feelings as much. And I want to be like, just say it.
Yeah, she's a dummy. And you could even see it in that sit-down interview. Like, there's just kind of flies buzzing around and just nothing going on in her brain.
No.
And part of me thinks that maybe that has something to do with her just not getting it.
Yes.
Because something's not clicking.
No, it's not.
And I think a lot of us have said, is it a personality disorder? Are you a narcissist? Are you whatever? It may be, honestly, that the intelligence level is just lower for whatever reason. Yeah. And so it's just, she's not getting it, that you don't do this to your best friend.
Yeah, it's not about boundaries between Ariana and Tom as much for Ariana now. She's like, it's a boundary in our friendship.
Yes.
You should have known better.
Yes.
What is wrong with you? You know what it was for me? The most telling thing for me.
Tell me.
Was when that I knew that something was just off in Rachel's brain.
Tell me.
Is when she first told Sheener, oh yeah, I've just been
That's right.
Ariana just found out that Tom and I have been having an affair. I'm sure she said Tom and me have been having an affair for 7 months and was flippant about it.
She was very casual.
That's what it was for me. I said, oh, you don't get this.
She doesn't get it.
Something's not up. The lights aren't on.
Because I think a lot of us, we have our very good close girlfriends, right? Our best friends in the world. And we would never, ever do something like that.
Never.
And for her to just be so uncaring, and I think even coming in the reunion next week,
yeah,
just very uncaring, no emotion, no tears, nothing.
They're gonna paint us to be liars.
Yeah.
You are liars.
You are a liar.
That's okay. You at some point you need to just say, we are liars. We did a terrible, shameful, horrific thing. They could just own it.
They're not owning it.
They're not owning it. It's driving me nuts. And the fact that she just so casually said to Sheena, oh yeah, Ariana just found out that Tom and I have been sleeping together for 7 months and having like a full-blown love affair.
Yeah, and that's when Sheena was filled with rage.
Was filled with rage.
I had so much rage in me.
And then for Rachel to call, or for Ariana to call Rachel, and for Rachel to be like, yeah,
this is what happened.
And again,
and I love that Ariana said, if you ever cared about me once a shred in our friendship, you will tell me the truth right now.
Truth.
And so
and yet then she said, once we got home, I pressed Tom because Rachel had said, oh yeah, well we kissed 7 months ago, and when I pressed Tom, no, they actually had sex in the car.
Yeah.
And then I had to buzz him into our house
and
because he couldn't find his keys.
Yeah.
Well, he probably drove off in Rachel's car with her or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's so, that's when I said, oh yeah, it's just not all there.
Something's not clicking, and I am excited to see part 2. If there's part 3, I don't know, but I want to try to understand this person.
Yeah.
And I know they're saying she's off at some treatment center. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if it's just a spa.
Yeah.
But she does need to work through this, because if you're just such an unfeeling person,
yes,
how will you ever have a spouse and maybe have children one day?
Yeah.
That's a little scary to me.
It is.
And when LVP was coming for Lala, saying that Tom's a dangerous person, and that I kind of have to agree, because if someone's willing to do that and show no remorse for Tom and for Rachel, no remorse, not a lot of, that feels dangerous to me. I don't think you should ever,
I think
have
Lala's
kids.
point was, it's a slippery slope.
It is.
It goes from, okay, so you slept with Miami Girl, then you slept with another person, and it ends up that it's turned out that it's a singer in his band. Or a former singer.
That's who the other person is?
Yes, that's why she said this person wasn't on Bravo, but it was in our circle adjacent.
Okay.
And I think it's because he featured Tom in the Extra so much that she was kind of like, well, in the Bravo sphere, but not really. And so it ends up that I believe it was a singer in his band, a vocalist of some sort. So he did that, and then he did this thing with Rachel. At some point, there's a pattern here, and I think what Lala was trying to get the point across is this is a pattern, and eventually it's not enough to just sleep with your friend's best friend, right? Then it's the next level up.
That's right.
And then it's the next level up, and then it's harassment, and then it's, and so you know, to get off, to continuously get your rocks off.
Yeah, you got to level up. That's how I feel about pornography. It's
exactly.
Like you're watching it, but after a while, this one is dull. So now we got to level up.
Level up.
And that's how some people start getting into real bad things they should not, because it's never enough.
And I think that was Lala's point, and maybe she elaborated more, and we just didn't see it because of editing and whatnot. But I fully understood what Lala was trying to say.
And for LVP to be almost trying to defend him a little bit,
because she has a stake in them.
She does. Literally, the name of their business together is Tom Tom.
So she doesn't want things to happen to that restaurant. But I think that she could be walking a much finer line here.
Think so.
I think that she needs to be reiterating. I think she could just be honest, because we all see it and we all know it. We all know enough to say, their names are on my restaurant, you guys. What do you want me to say?
She should just say that.
Then just say it.
Just say it.
We all know this.
Oh, but I'll tell you what.
We are not first timers.
The king and queen of that reunion were
Lala and James.
Lala and James, y'all. It was such a treat to watch them giggle and look at each other and laugh.
I want them on level 100 always. That's how I like my James and Lala best.
I love them.
They are just two little. They're like two old ladies.
Yes. Just egging each other on.
And I love it. It's gonna be us.
It's gonna be us
if we survive it. I like that level, and I'm not saying that James needs to get up and threaten to beat asses and stuff all the time.
But he kept standing up and walking away, and he was just like, James.
Just sit down. Stop knocking my cards out. My cards.
Oh no,
my cards. This little whine. But sometimes people need their asses kicked.
They do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Joshua used to say that about Justin Bieber. He's like, he can't just need his ass kicked. I said, the industry already is trying to do that to him.
Yes.
Like, I think that there's a lot that we do to child stars. That
Oh, I mean, all of them. It's
blood on our hands.
Yes.
The Britney blood is on our hands.
Yep.
We were ingesting the content. We were doing the things. We were keeping them in some of these positions. And so I'm like, no. Justin's had his ass kicked, babe. Like,
Yes.
by the industry as a whole.
Yes.
He just needs love.
Yeah,
And
you can
it
see
seems like
videos of him out here in the streets just tweaking on the
Yeah.
drugs. It's
And
not good.
It's not good. It's not good. But VPR, hopefully, none of them are tweaking.
I don't think so.
Even though
twerking.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And even though Tom just wants to do shrooms and watch
Oh,
sunset.
I can't.
Gross.
Oh, I loved what Ariana said when she was like, yeah, when we got together, he thought I was the cool girl
Mhm.
because I was young.
Uh-huh.
I had no responsibilities. We could stay up late and do shrooms and hang out in the hot tub all
Yep.
night. That was the phase of life we were in.
Yeah.
She said, now I own a home. We have businesses together.
Yes.
I can't be that girl anymore. You grow old together. That's how a life partner works.
Yes.
But he's trying to find the young girls who are carefree and
Exactly.
stroke his ego, and that's what he did with Rachel.
I mean, for him to even say, well, yeah, I slept with my Amy girl because I just wanted to feel what it was like to be single again. That's not how it works. That's literally not how monogamy works. I don't know how else to explain it.
They just break up. Who
Be
would have
single.
thought that Jax Taylor would end up being the family man?
The family van.
The family man. A little family van. He is the family guy in all of this.
I know. But now, here's my worry for Jax. If he does end up coming back next season,
I
which is
know.
rumored to be,
Yeah.
will all of this progress fall apart?
I know.
Will the cameras just get him? They'll get him.
It might get him.
And I don't want
You're
that
right.
I don't want that for him and Brittany. They seem to have a really good thing going on. Sweet little boy.
Yes.
Like I love this for them and I want him to but do we want Family Man Jax on our TVs?
I think
I would appreciate it.
I would if he could shuffle back in
Yeah.
as a friend of, or kind of pop in here and there with some opinions and thoughts.
Yeah.
I think I would like that.
He can stir it up a little bit, but I don't want
Yeah.
it to be in his life.
I don't think so, because I agree. He will lose that momentum that he has.
And maybe it does feel good to him to be hearing from the fans that who would have thought
Who
it?
would have
Jax
thought?
Taylor ends up being the lasting guy in the group.
Yep.
Not the number one guy, because we know that's James.
That's James Kennedy. DJ James Kennedy.
DJ James Kennedy. But I do want Jax back on the screen just for a little bit. Just to stir it up, because he's petty.
Yeah.
Him and James.
All of that. I'm saying Chris and all of them, they could just pop in to stir.
Uh-huh.
And then
I have to put a little chapstick in my
put your
nose.
chapstick. That's your
Uh-huh. This is my
Hack.
balm. This is my balm for everything.
for everything, for your eyes, for your nose.
Yes,
lips.
yes. So because my eyes water a lot, I put it there. I put it right in my nose when it's feeling a little raw.
Thank you.
And it is. It's feeling a little raw, and I don't know why. I don't know if I cut it or because I haven't been blowing my nose that much. But anytime, and then obviously for the lips too, guys.
Yes.
And then when my knuckles are feeling a little dry,
Now it has to be the plain black
it has to be a plain black because
chapstick.
if it's mentholy, it'll
It'll
sting.
burn.
It'll sting and it'll burn. If it's the I think it's called medicated or moisturizing or medicated, whichever one that is. It has SPF 10 in it. I do not like that on my lips. I don't like the taste of it. I can taste if SPF is in something, a gloss,
Oh yeah, you can
a
taste
chapstick,
it.
I can taste it. I don't know how y'all put that on your lips.
Yeah.
If it is strawberry, if it is tinted, then it's pink. And then it's pink all along here, and then you just look like you've got chapped lips anyway.
So it's got to be the plain black. Okay, guys? If you bring this as a
Please.
gift,
Please.
do something.
Please, if you want me to be happy and delighted, I want the plain black chapstick.
Oh my gosh.
Know that.
Okay, so before we jump into our weekend
Yeah.
updates, because
Yeah.
I got to hear everything and you got to hear all about my basement.
I literally haven't texted you nothing. Like
I know.
I don't even know if you knew I was going to Memphis until I arrived
well,
there.
I knew you were going at some point, but not until I saw your stories was I like, oh, she's there. She's there. We were just out of touch all
Yeah.
weekend.
We were.
But here's our Pastor Mike announcement for you.
Okay, yes, because Matt was just here in the pod room and he almost spilled it.
Yeah, he teased this a little bit.
Okay.
He just told me this morning. I didn't even know. But this morning, our Pastor Mike was in Washington, D.C. and opened up the House of Representatives with his prayer this morning.
He did?
Can you believe that?
Why was he, how did he get this esteemed honor?
I'm not even sure how it came to be, but...
Did you share this on your story?
I did. I just popped it up.
I didn't realize that was
That's
Pastor Mike.
Pastor Mike.
I did not realize that.
And in it, his eyes are closed and he's doing a little V.
He's doing a low broken V.
Yes.
Okay.
And
can't wait to share that.
He opened up the house this morning
Good
at
for
9 a.m.
him. So they still open with prayer.
I guess so, because he did.
Great.
And I said they couldn't have had anybody better.
I know how much you love him and adore him.
No one better for the job.
Great. Well, I was asking, the reason why we even brought this up is I was asking, has Pastor Mike heard our podcast and knows that we do high V's to him? And no.
Not yet.
I'm just waiting for Jen or you or Leanna
or Michelle.
Michelle or any of you girls to go ahead and let Pastor Mike know. I think he'd be titillated.
I think he'd be tickled.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to subscribe.
I don't think he needs to. And I hope that's not what you're getting from that. No. I would just like him to know that we speak of him in a giggly, fun, high way.
Yes.
Nothing but love.
He could be an honorary
podcast
without actually having to subscribe.
How quickly you got over to the cat noise kills me.
Let's talk about the weekend.
Yeah.
So, what did you do this weekend?
I can't remember.
Were you just around? Oh, you did some volleyball, I think?
Bella had her volleyball tournament this weekend, and they did not win, but they did get to the quarterfinals.
Okay,
and
great.
We were thrilled about that. I'm a little annoyed with the volleyball of this season because we got one less game.
Yeah.
And in the tournament this past weekend, we were put on the crappiest courts of all time. So they have... North Lake has space up in like a Fitness Connection or Sports Connection. I can never remember the difference. It doesn't matter. But these bad courts are just converted from basketball courts. They put down some temporary flooring and you kind of can't tell what the lines are.
Yeah.
You know, where's out of bounds, where's not. And the basketball goals are still hanging down. So you're kind of working around those. And there's so little room behind the back serve line that girls who have jump serves, who run and do jump serves, have nowhere to run. And it totally changes the game.
Because no, that's not okay. No.
Every girl was foot faulting because there wasn't enough room. And so it's point, football, but. And I'm thinking, if you take this many people on teams that then you run out of courts for the tournament, then you need to take less people.
Yes.
Or you need to find a bigger space with more volleyball courts.
Were all the parents so annoyed by this?
We were all so annoyed. And there were 2 courts in this area, which are the 2 that our kids got put on for the first 6 games, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
And to move over, but you're switching court 7 and 8 back and forth like this. And some parents wouldn't move. So then we just had to stand and watch. And I thought,
what?
Yeah, because there wasn't enough room for us to even be spectators behind the lines. So people were putting their chairs in one row and then saying, you can't sit in front of me. It's too close to the outside lines. So you just kind of had to stand in the corner, stand up, and you could hardly see. It was very annoying.
This does not sound enjoyable.
Now,
not an enjoyable time.
One last game and crappy courts for the tournament. But trust me, they didn't reduce the price on the season. So I was like, for one less game.
A lot of these
that's annoying
club
to me.
Or recreational sports, we're learning this, is a money grab. We are seeing this in some of the soccer stuff where teams are being formed or created out of the blue.
Yeah.
And it's you already know it's not going to be great, but they're like, yeah, just sign your kid up, give us an extra $2,000 and it'll be awesome.
It'll be great.
So
I had written them as soon as the schedule came out. I said, 1 week is missing of games. I'm just making sure, was that a typo or something? They're like, oh no, we had rented out our gym for a different tournament, so there's no games that weekend for any of the teams. And I wanted to say, well, you didn't charge us any less.
Yeah, so where's my money, bruh?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. That was very annoying to me. And then you add in the tournament situation. Now, Bella's team, did great. They made it to the quarterfinals. Then they lost in that game. So they were 2 games away from basically winning it all. But I'm proud of them.
Now, this is that same group of girls that I like.
Yes,
Okay.
these were all the Myers Park girls.
I was happy that these girls
They all got put back together kind of on this team. Now,
I'm glad.
3 girls made travel, and those girls were all incredible, and we definitely felt the loss of those 3. But for the most part, you know, they pulled it together. They didn't have an undefeated season like they did last time.
Right.
They didn't have undefeated.
And that's what happens when you have some of those players on your teams that it's 2 or 3 of them that are at the tippy top of talent.
You feel it.
You feel it. And that's going to be Tinsley's soccer team next year. I'm really sad.
Because she's leaving?
Well,
and she's the tippy top?
No. She'll still be on the team, but there's, I think, 3 or 4 that are kind of our best girls. And we all know it.
Yeah.
That have kind of leveled up, and now they're going on
to the next age group or the next travel.
I mean, travel, like flying.
Whoa.
Flying to games. I'm talking, you're flying to Alabama.
Dear.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
And that's where we're at. We're like, we don't want to do that.
No, that's not our life.
We're going to feel it. It's going to be a difference, and that's okay.
And we did, in our one middle, Izzy, from last season, she came to one of the games this season, and I was like, Izzy, we miss you.
We miss you, girl.
We miss you, but she was so great to come back and support her
But
teammates.
what I've said to Tinsley, and what I would say to Bella or anybody, is that then creates space and an opportunity for other girls to rise up, to be the leader, to become the best, and to shine a little bit more.
And it's good for your kids to see others be better than them.
Yeah, that's how you get better.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. So we're not here feeding our kids a load of garbage. Like, no, you're the best.
No.
You are number one. Mm-mm. You're the number one girl in the group.
We all have eyeballs. We can see what's what.
Absolutely. Speaking of eyeballs, what lash serum are you using?
Can you believe it?
It is insane. They're touching your eyebrows now.
Can you believe these lashes?
But it's got to be expensive, right?
It's the Obagi. I think it's called Newsil.
Wow.
And Gigi turned me onto it. She got me a tube of it for Christmas. What a generous friend that is.
Yeah. That's a lot. How much is it?
I think it's around,
level with us.
I think it's around 120, something like that. But it'll last, I'd say about 2 months. It'll last about 2 months. But y'all, these are not extensions.
No, they're insane.
And so
I've been so slack about my eyelash serum. It usually does work. Like my
your Amazon one.
It works. It works. I'm just so slack about it.
You have to. The consistency is important.
It is. I know that, and that's on me.
Yeah.
But these are
popping.
These are on another level.
Here's my tip, y'all. There is a Smashbox. That's the brand. Smashbox mascara, and it's a red tube. I can't think of the name, but it's their only one in a red tube.
Okay.
It will not budge. It's not that it's waterproof, because I don't love a waterproof.
No.
I don't like that.
Because then you have to scrub so hard to get it off that you're taking out the lashes.
That's
you
right.
just work so hard to grow.
That's right. So it's not waterproof. Hear me on that. But this is the mascara that a lot of makeup artists will use for wedding days, because it will not smudge. It's not going to land on the top or the bottom. It's the best. Smashbox, red tube. Go find it.
Okay. I'm going to order that right away.
Yeah.
But they're giving.
And you know, I was a lash extension girl for years.
I know you were.
A while back. But when we went to Croatia, I was done with those.
Do you want an unpopular opinion?
Yeah.
I do not.
You don't like them?
I do not like fake lashes on people.
You
don't. I don't. Now, every once in a while, they can be done right.
Yes.
But sometimes it really does just look like Girl Scout spiders on their eyeballs.
Yeah. I see that.
It does. I do not understand. I think it goes back to the leveling up. It's never enough.
Yeah.
Then you keep adding and adding. And it eventually just starts to look like one black
like
crescent
a sheet.
Curve. Yeah. It's too much. It's supposed to look feathered. It's supposed to look like thin as a strand of hair is.
Yes.
That is an eyelash.
That's why Nikki's the best. And she makes them look natural.
It looks too much sometimes.
Yes.
I need y'all to step away.
Step away from the lashes.
Just step away. It's not supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to take over your eye.
Well, and it's supposed to enhance your eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that we do to ourselves should be to enhance your natural beauty and make you look your best.
Yeah.
And so you do have to be careful with that kind of
You
stuff.
do have to be careful.
I saw there was a girl that got them on her bottom lashes.
What?
She got lash extensions on the bottom, and it's just too much, y'all. I can't.
Much. You just look like I don't know.
Like a Muppet.
Yes. That's exactly
Like
what
a
some people are
Muppet.
starting to look like. And if you're someone who's wondering if you're teetering on the edge and you want me to be honest with you, you are more than welcome to write me, and I will be.
Yeah, you'll be
because
honest.
I care.
Yeah.
I care about you. I don't want you to look back. You know what it is. We
Yeah.
talked about this with the
Golden Goose.
Golden Goose.
Yeah.
In the photos.
Mhm.
And if y'all haven't listened to that episode, it's amazing. But I don't want you to look back years from now and say, why did no one tell me
Yeah.
that I look wild?
Yes.
That my face, my eyes I look bonkers.
Yeah.
I look startled. I look
startled.
out of control.
I
A little tweaked out. And I don't want that for you. I want you to reel it in.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Y'all know this. I'm not saying that. You're more than welcome to be frank with me. But if you are curious, if you're thinking I might have gone too far, I will let you know. I'll be honest with you.
We should start like an honesty hotline.
Yes, let's do it.
I kind of love that.
That would be great. Like, just write us and say, hey, or what do you think? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Or which baby name should I choose?
Yes.
Give us. We are more than
We
welcome
will
to
be
give
honest.
our honest opinions about that.
I'm going to start that.
I like
Let
that.
me write that down.
Yeah, put it down in your notes app.
Honesty hotline.
Yep. That's a great idea.
Okay, I feel like we've really covered. Okay, so you did volleyball.
Mm-hmm. Did volleyball tournaments. I'm sure that there were other things I did, but I didn't look it up in my phone, and so now I can't remember.
I cleaned out, partially cleaned out the basement. Now,
Yeah.
some of y'all already know this because you watch our stories.
But Kristen,
and
that looked like a doozy.
it.
Because I've seen all of your closets. I've seen them all. I've rummaged through them. I am Narnia'd down in there. It's because y'all just have so much storage. We have none. You have all the storage.
And storage is great, but when you have storage, you fill it up.
Yeah,
You fill
and
it.
you sure do.
So you will be happy. All that furniture in the guest bedroom, that's all empty.
Wow.
That's
Good.
empty.
Ooh, and it had like Bonita Pina bags.
Yeah, it had Bonita
had
Pina-
so
I mean, all
many
kinds
of
of
your
stuff.
clothes.
Yeah, just tons of stuff. I don't know.
It had a lot of purses.
Yeah, cleaned out a bunch of those. Kept some because some are important to me.
What
but-
are you doing with all of it?
Well, we are, I'm big on like finding homes for things in my house that this is where all the candles should be. This is where all the books should be, whatever.
Yeah.
Finally, the linen closet down there became our board game area. I've been wanting to do this for years.
Great. Because
we had board games in 4 areas of our home.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. But I cleaned all that crap out.
How many games of Monopoly do you
I mean,
own?
there's FSU-opoly.
Of course.
There's Junior Monopoly.
Okay.
And then regular.
Okay.
So, there were a lot of games.
I
And
bet.
so now we have a game closet and it's great.
That's so exciting.
So anyway, that was our
That's
weekend.
a
And
task.
I did not even push this. It was Matt who began it.
Okay.
He said, I'm just going to start cleaning out this closet, the party closet.
Because they host a lot of parties, so Kristen wants to keep all of the Olympic stuff
Yeah.
together, all the hoedown
All
stuff
the
together.
hoedown stuff.
And you have Christmas and Halloween and of
Yeah.
course all that, but I'm saying all her themed parties, 1970s,
Yes.
60s.
Yes.
You have sock
50s,
hops.
40s.
You have it all. 1870s.
Yes. World Cup parties.
Yep, you
4th
have-
of July.
You have it. You've got a lot.
We've got it all, and it just needed a purge. So 50% of the stuff in our basement needed to go.
Yes.
So we've begun the process. Lachlan was loving it because as we're doing this, we're pulling out old toys and old things.
That he hasn't seen in forever.
It was like truly a kid in a candy shop. He was thriving over
Yes.
the weekend, just playing with all this stuff.
And then what? So are you doing like a yard sale
so
or something?
What was the show?
Mm-hmm.
At
Yep.
TLC.
Yep.
Where they put the tarps out.
Yep, the tarps, and it was keep, seller, donate.
That was it.
Well, people did it as preparation to, I believe, do the trading spaces.
It
Or
wasn't.
no,
It was
it
a
was
different
part of
show.
something. It was part of something, and it was keep, sell, donate. They had the tarps. People had to bring it out. Dana's screaming at us.
Dana, you know the name of this show. It was on TLC. And there was,
It
I
was.
think this guy was like British or Australian or something.
Yes.
And he would come in and he'd say, we've got to go through all this.
Yes.
Here's the tarps on your lawn. Look at every single item and pick a tarp for it to go on.
Because it wasn't hoarders.
It was not hoarders.
Because that's just all garbage. But yeah, this was something adjacent.
We're going to find it.
Yeah.
We'll find it. But that's the energy we were bringing into it. Matt put tarps out and boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
Now,
What a throwback.
you know Matt. He likes to hang on to stuff he's a lot like his dad in that way, and kind of sentimental, and everything has a memory.
Oh yeah, could a ton of the stuff go to the antique store?
Some of it, but
Okay.
he'd get a bin of like old ratty toys, and he would pick up each and every one.
Each one.
Look at it. What should I do with this? I mean, the
Because
man.
he's so sentimental.
Yes.
And I know in his brain he was thinking, but Lachlan held this when he was
I-
6 months and 3 days old. And there's a picture of us together where I've been carrying it for him. So both of us have touched it. It has our energies, and I can't let go of it.
That's exactly.
I know.
what it was.
He's so sweet
It
on
was
him.
very sweet, and at
Yeah.
first I was kind of giving him a hard time, like, babe,
Yeah.
you see how much I've done, right? Coming in and out, in and out, in and out, like
Yeah.
huge piles. And he's gone through 2 bins. But eventually I realized, like, okay, Kristen, this is actually cathartic. Like, he needs to move through this and feel some feelings.
You can't rush him through it.
Yeah. And so I just let him be, and he did his thing, and it's fine. But it was good. So, I mean, we still have a lot to do. I'd say we maybe made it halfway through.
Wow.
So we will continue on this journey. Thankfully, the basement is just the basement. It's out of the way. We don't have to see it all the time, and so
Right.
it's just kind of undone right now. But
Right. But did you find anything that you were like, I can't believe this is in here. I forgot about this. Or,
pictures of Matt with his old flings.
okay. Sorry I asked. Wow.
And then
And then
And
another. And then Mindy. No, what was it? I don't know. I don't know their names.
Mandy was the
Oh.
last one. Mandy was the one before me. Can you believe it?
That is so
No.
funny.
Listen, I'll say this. Okay, this is a funny story.
Okay, tell me.
When Matt and I first started dating and got engaged, which again was very quick,
Yeah, very quick. We know this.
came to his townhouse. I think this was in preparation for me to move in,
Okay.
and found this cardboard box, big cardboard box, full of scrapbooks, memory scrapbooks, probably about 7 or 8 of them, and I'm not kidding.
Who was
Big.
making all of these?
Every single girl he had dated
Made a scrapbook for him?
had made scrapbooks of their memories and time and like life together. And
What?
he had held on to all of these and had a box. I was like, this is
Okay, first of all, I'm just shocked that he found the same kind of girl.
I know.
Like the same kind of girl who's making a scrapbook
I know.
for their relationship.
But then
That takes a special kind of girl. Not everyone was into scrapbooking.
at the end of each scrapbook was like the breakup letter.
He saved those too? Matt. What is he doing?
And Matt was the one doing the breaking up because he was usually like leaving town or moving on with his life. He lived
Yeah, like moving
all
to
over.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but maybe he would break up and then they'd write him a long letter, 4 or 5 handwritten pages, and that was always at the end of the book.
I want to read. Did y'all get rid of them, or
Oh,
did he still hang on?
I
to
want
them?
you to imagine me
Yeah,
as
coming
me.
upon this.
Me playing me.
Yeah. Okay. I fully understand the role. Yeah.
Big, big curly hair.
Uh huh.
Coming in, finding this box,
Uh huh.
and what I did with it. So I was
You marched it right to his apartment dumpster. I assume?
first. I looked at all of it. That was important.
Great.
I tortured myself with each and every
Oh,
page.
that's fun.
Yeah, looked at everything, absorbed it all, every detail, KKK, and then said to him, "You will put this in your car and drive it to the dump." And
figured.
he, out of fear,
And loyalty and love, I'm sure, right? Not just fear.
Yes. but in my mind, I'm like, "But babe, like some of these were 10 years ago, but you're still holding on to it. You've held on to this through every other girlfriend."
Yeah. No, usually you just get rid of the last ones. And
That's what I'm
maybe you have
saying.
the most recent.
Right. So Mandy, his previous girlfriend, was just putting up with this.
Mandy.
Come
Did Mandy
on.
know that these existed?
I'm sure she did. It was right there in the guest room.
I don't know.
So, maybe not.
Not everyone's as thorough.
Well, I was thorough.
I know you were.
And those are rotting in a dump somewhere.
They've decomposed maybe by now.
I think so.
Or
But
maybe they're up there near the racetrack.
all that
Maybe cars are racing right over those. Come on. Oh, that was Mandy's.
they are under the Charlotte Motor Speedway right now, under all that asphalt. I love that thought.
It all comes back to freaking garbage.
Garbage and dumpsters
Always
and
does.
poo.
Porta johns.
And so this weekend, as I'm cleaning out,
but that's speaking of poo, when we saw Matt just before
this,
Christy goes, hey, how was your dump? And I was like, do we have to know about she's like, no, the dump. He went and threw stuff out at the dump. I'm like, it wouldn't have shocked me though. I'm like, because it's got to be garbage, poop, or the giants.
Hey babe, how's your dump?
Oh, please tell me. I'm dying to know too.
That's the kind of relationship the three of us have.
It absolutely is. It didn't shock me.
Yeah.
It was just more like, we're about to press record. No, how was your dump? Okay, go ahead though. So this weekend.
Oh no, so yes, as I went through, there was one bin
that he had held on to.
That honestly just had, old photos, living in Colorado, living in Yosemite.
So it's just all mixed up.
Kind of mixed up, but there were a few things I took out. I was like, who's this girl with the pigtails?
She was just a hiking guide.
Who's this girl with you at this place?
Yeah,
So there were a few that I then put into our fire pit out back.
And you did a burning ceremony.
Yes.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Something. So
we slay.
Slay we must.
Life is beautiful, so
slay
we must.
Thank God Dana she's already been yelling for a couple minutes, so now she was like, they better get this quote right.
I might need to put that on the soundboard.
Yeah, put it on. We need it.
I love that idea.
And our girl, Ether Opal, made it into a shirt.
Yeah. Oh, she did?
Already. Yeah.
Oh, I might need to get that.
She good.
Gosh, she's good.
She's fast.
She has some of the best merch on the market. I'm telling y'all, if you love Bravo, go to her page and buy her stuff. I want her to.
She's an incredible graphic designer. You can tell that that's her background.
Yes.
And she's fast and she can get things done, which is impressive. We love
fast
that.
shipping too, just saying.
Yeah, fast shipping.
So anyway, went a little bit down memory lane. Some of my old stuff is in there. Old design school stuff. Looking back on old design school,
it'll humble you, huh?
It humbled me.
It'll humble you.
It was almost like it was a hot potato, and I just dropped it. It was like, because you read the things you were writing about and thinking about, and drawing and sketching and feeling so deep in design school.
Yes,
it was shameful and embarrassing.
Cringy.
So much cringe.
So much.
I quickly threw it in the garbage. I said, I just never. This is not something I want to hang on to or reminisce about or have my kids look at. It's time to go.
That's how I feel looking back at some of the first cakes I ever made.
Oh, really?
Oh, God. I'm just like, I cannot believe that I
photos?
posted these on the internet.
I've got to see these.
Oh, they're so bad. Now, of course, you're supposed to be learning, right?
Of course,
and just like design school,
we all start somewhere.
Learning.
Yeah.
And luckily I wasn't charging for any of the truly horrific ones.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't allowed to because I had a dog in our house. But, just looking back, I gave those to people as gifts. Oh, my gosh.
I thought they were amazing.
No, they weren't.
I don't believe you.
But the very first
I'll
time
have to see it.
I was still using canned frosting, which doesn't spread.
But that doesn't matter. You still made it look great. I'm certain.
I did not.
You're just giving yourself a hard time because of how far you've come.
No. Well,
look, y'all, one day we're going to look back on these YouTube videos and be like, we are trashed.
Just looking back on our first set from 3 months ago.
I know.
What?
I know.
And then now it's so beautiful.
We've already had a little glow up.
Gosh.
And so that's how you get started.
I know. But sometimes I feel the same way. I'm just thinking, I cannot believe I posted those to the internet. Or looking back at some fashion blog stuff.
Oh, the fashion stuff.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Any of that stuff.
Us posing in our outfits but that's
what you did
at the time.
That's what you did.
Everything was sepia or Valencia
yes.
or Nashville.
Yes, we went hard on the filters.
What was happening?
But let's actually take a pause there. Why have none of those filters changed on Instagram in 10 years?
They're still there. I don't know. Are people using them?
It's still the same filters.
Yes.
We know how far it's come. I'll tell you why, because I think they want people to just do stories and reels, and that's where the good filters are. The Valencia and X Pro and all that's on the posts.
I don't get that.
Because they don't want us to post pictures. Okay. They want the videos, the quick stuff.
I mean, somebody has I need stats. I need to know which users are using Nashville.
Yeah. I'm going to start a petition. Change.org.
Yeah, change.
After this.
A change is coming.
Yeah, I'm going to start it. And we're going to start with the podcast. You guys, y'all know what we're talking about.
What a noble cause. Speaking of causes, let me tell you.
I mean, we really got to dig into this because you magically appeared in Memphis.
Yep, and this shirt saves lives. I'm wearing it
so we
today.
both have on merch. Me, Chick-fil-A.
And me, St. Jude.
Yeah, so
And-
priorities.
Yeah, well, food and saving kids.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, it's still important.
Oh, quick, before you dive into this,
Yeah.
I have a trivia for you.
Oh, beam, 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 beam.
And it is a St. Jude trivia.
Oh, I hope I know it. I've learned a lot.
I bet you have, and I was startled by this, and I just want everybody to know.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do it.
How much does it cost to run St. Jude every day?
Okay, they did not give us this statistic.
Okay.
They did not give it to us, but I know it is a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all donor money,
All donor money.
and no one ever receives a bill at St. Jude.
Yeah. So what do you think just per day?
I know some doses of chemotherapy alone cost 30 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I would say to run St. Jude in a day with all the research, all the patients, everything, we have to be talking about millions of dollars.
It is millions.
And I would say 2.3.
2 million.
Whoa!
That's close. I'm going to give you that.
Okay, I went over, but
Some days it might be 2.3. This
I'm
is
sure
the
it is.
average, is what
Yes.
they're saying.
yes,
But
now
$2 million per day.
and we're multiplying that times 365 because cancer never stops.
That's
and so
right.
we are now talking in the 800s of millions
Insane.
For
I
a
couldn't
year.
believe this.
for a year, and that's how much they have to raise to never collect a bill. They have to be able to stay on top of fundraising, which is why they brought all of these content creators
Yes.
into Memphis these last 3 days. We kept saying weekend because it was 3 days, but
Yeah,
it was a
but
Monday,
we-
Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's right.
And the reason why is the vice president he's realized that influencer marketing is not just
Yep.
important for brands and selling makeup and jeans. It's very important for raising money as well.
Yes.
And that influencers have these humongous audiences,
Yes.
and why aren't they tapping into it? Now, I already knew about St. Jude. I was
Oh, yeah.
raised knowing about. Did
We
you
went-
watch the Monica Thomas infomercials?
I've watched those infomercials for years. Both of us have given to St. Jude for years.
Mathathons.
Yes.
Do you remember trichathons even? You could be on your
Ooh,
tricycle
Yes.
and you would get pledges. But St. Jude has always been around. And
Always
now,
been around.
for those who are listening, Charlotte is 11 hours driving from Memphis. It's not like it's close.
No.
Tennessee is. That is our next door neighbor.
Yeah.
But Memphis
Memphis is all the way.
it is all the way because it butts right up to the next state.
Yes.
Okay? So it's not close.
No.
But we still knew about St. Jude.
Yes.
Right? It was a
Yes.
normal part of everyday lexicon.
Honestly, I think those infomercials were the biggest part of it.
Agreed.
Because if we're sitting at home watching Ricky Lake,
Yep.
that commercial's coming on.
It's popping
I
on.
can hear her voice.
Me too. I can
Yeah.
see her face. I can hear
Yeah.
her voice. They showed the children, the whole thing.
Yes.
Well, I didn't realize until Joshua did his run 3 years ago the amount of people who were like, "What's St. Jude?" My followers.
How could people not know?
I don't know this. So I'm talking to someone who's
Huh.
at this creator summit, is what they ended up calling it, this creator summit with me, and she said, "I am from Seattle,
Okay.
and because Seattle has such a phenomenal children's hospital,
That's
people
right.
just go there, and they don't come to St. Jude oftentimes." And I said, "Yeah, but Levine Children's is an incredible children's hospital here in
Right.
Charlotte. And people still go,
Right.
the Palmers, the Shropshires,
Yeah.
we know the Olivers. Cancer has been around us. We know multiple people with kids, and they went to St. Jude.
They went to St. Jude.
Now, we do have a St. Jude affiliate here in Charlotte at the hospital, but they still went to Memphis to be
Yes.
treated at St. Jude because it is simply the best of the best.
That's right.
And let me tell y'all, so 3 years ago, Joshua was signed up to run the Nashville Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
It is a St. Jude Marathon. So you see the marathons too all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're so heavily in the running circle. But St. Jude will basically, you can say, "I'm going to raise money for St. Jude." And if you raise a certain amount of money, then they pay your entrance fee to the run, and sometimes even travel and hotel and things like that. Okay. So Joshua had never run for St. Jude because he's uncomfortable asking people for money. So we talked to our
Okay.
rep. Her name is Laura Stearns, and she is here in the Charlotte office. And she said, it would be fine if you wanted to raise the money for him and he just did the running.
Yes,
that's
because
fine.
you're not uncomfortable asking people.
I am not.
For a good cause.
I'm never afraid to ask people for money.
You've emceed events, charity events, where you're saying, nope, you all can do better, raise more.
I'm an auctioneer.
Yes.
I am an MC. I have no problem doing this. If I believe in it,
yes,
I have no problem talking about it and asking for it. And so she was like, yeah, you can do that. Well, COVID hit. It's 2020.
That's right.
The marathon was in April.
Yep.
We know what happened in March.
Yeah.
Shut it all down. Well, Joshua said, I've already been training.
I know.
I don't want to just not run. So that's when he did the big run all the way down South Tryon.
Yes.
When he started up by UNCC,
Yes.
he ran all the way down to Lake Wiley. And then he said, I can do more. I can do better than this. I think I'm going to run from Charlotte to Nashville because the finish line was supposed to be in Nashville and I still want it to be in Nashville.
Oh my gosh.
And so he said, I'm going to run from Charlotte to Nashville and we're going to raise money for St. Jude. And I said, okay, well, how much do you think it should be? And he said, I think it should be $84,000 because in 1984, Joshua was saved by a St. Jude doctor.
That's right.
In a funny, weird twist of fate, Joshua was very sick when he was 5 years old. He was in Cincinnati. Well, he was in a smaller hospital. Then he got transferred to Cincinnati Children's. It's a great hospital. But no one could figure out what was wrong with him. He was losing weight rapidly.
Yeah.
His skin was turning gray. Like, no one could figure it out. They had run every test and were stumped.
Yeah.
And one day, a doctor from St. Jude came to the hospital to educate other doctors about pediatric cancer. And a doctor said, would you come look at this patient who has stumped us? We can't figure out what's wrong. And the doctor came in and said, has anyone tested this boy for Lyme's disease? And they said, no, we've never had a case this far south before.
Yeah.
Because he was on the tip of Ohio, Kentucky, where he was, like where they were living. And Lyme was not that far south, basically.
Right.
And so they said, no, why would we ever do that? And it turns out that he was tested for Lyme's disease. He had it, and they were able to turn him around using a protocol. And so basically, this doctor saved Joshua's life from St. Jude. So even though it wasn't cancer, it's the knowledge that they have and that they don't gatekeep their information. Right? And so, anyway, we ended up doing the run. Joshua ran 410 miles. He had to bike a little bit because he broke his foot on day 2.
I know, that was awful.
It was awful. My parents followed along in their RV. The girls were doing virtual learning, so they actually finished their years on the road in the RV with us.
Yeah.
And we ended up raising $87,000 for St. Jude.
Woo, 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 woo.
It was
so
was
awesome.
incredible. And so that was the first time I had really raised a lot of money for St. Jude, and in such an unconventional way, right? And so that kind of got me in with them in a different way than just being a monthly donor, which we already were, or, calling up the telethons or whatever. And so they decided to host this creator summit to try to get more influencers, more creators, more YouTubers and TikTokers and Instagrammers into you have a really large platform, but what are you doing with it?
That's right.
It can't just be about linking sunglasses.
Me.
It can't.
Yeah.
And so they invited people and they said, if you want to be a part of this mission, please join us for 3 days. Learn more about St. Jude. See if this is something you'd want to take back to your audience. No pressure.
Yeah.
No obligation. You don't owe us a thing.
Yeah.
But hopefully once you're here, you can't then not do something. Right? And I was shook by the people who were in that room. I mean, we are talking some humongous names in this field. And because it's also a job of mine to be an influencer, of course, I was just looking around like, whoa, he's here, she's here. These people have millions, tens of millions of followers.
Insane.
It's insane. And there's me like, I just crossed over 22.3. Thank you. But yeah, that's how I felt. Hey, it's me, Miranda and Charlotte. You've probably heard of me. Now, a lot of the St. Jude people had, because they had heard about this crazy run.
They knew you.
They had heard about this crazy runner. They had heard the amount that we had ended up raising. And so some people were like, oh, that's you. So that was really nice. But listen, no one was coming up to me saying, are you Miranda and Charlotte?
Now they will be.
Can I get a selfie with you?
Okay, do you
I was
feel like
definitely doing that to some people.
Do you feel like you left your mark on all of these people?
I mean, I hope so. Again, only person with red hair there. That did help.
Red hair, purple hair.
Oh, just kidding. I have purple hair.
I would have been your redhead.
Yeah, you're my redhead. You're big red.
Yes.
But no, I was, obviously noticeable, and so many people were, oh gosh, you wear a lot of color. Like all my outfits were colorful and stuff. Because that's just how I dress. But I hope that I did in some ways, because every time I got a chance to talk with people, it was more like, here's how I fundraised. Here's how I was able to do it, and really, motivate my followers in $5 and $7 increments.
That's right.
To do this huge amount that I ended up, raising with Joshua's running help.
Yeah.
And so that was really great to be able to talk to people in that way, because ultimately there was a call to action at the end of it, which is, we would love it if you guys did want to be a part of us, and we're going to give 48 hours in June and see if any of y'all want to be on this with us.
That we can raise money.
So I'm curious to see who takes part in it.
Yeah.
Because we were just very graciously and generously hosted.
These people need to do this. Come on, 2 days in June.
I really hope
Go
so.
all in, raise the money.
And you can set your own amounts.
I'm excited to see this.
It's whatever you want to set, whatever your goal wants to be. So y'all be on the lookout, because we are definitely going to be needing our podcast help for this.
Yes.
We're going to be needing the Miranda and Charlotte people. We're going to be needing everyone to rally around us. I don't think I'm setting it for 87,000 again.
You never know.
It'll be some sort of number that will be relevant, make sense.
Okay.
And we're going to push it. We're going to really, really push it and see what we can raise, because let me tell y'all about St. Jude a little bit. Like you've already heard, no one gets a bill.
That's right.
That means for travel, for food, for lodging, for your children's medicine, for life, what are they called? The specialists who come in and help your kids just play and have fun.
Yeah.
Child life specialists. For anything that you could possibly need. Therapy. Like therapy for mom and dad. Therapy for kids. For siblings. No one receives a bill ever.
So
and
amazing.
we are talking $500,000 is what your bill would have been. You never see it. You just,
because your child is already fighting cancer. Do you also need to be bankrupt on top of that?
No. Not only that, but when you are so worried about how are you going to afford this, you can't focus on just getting your child better.
That's it.
And when you are focused on how can I afford this, you might make different decisions about medicines. You might say, well, we can't have that. Well, what if that's the life-saving drug?
Oh, that's so scary to think
about.
So
we heard absolutely gut-wrenching stories, right, about a child who was brought from the Philippines because, they were told, we won't even operate on her because we've never seen a child survive the operation. There's no point.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine being that mom. So they came to St. Jude. They just a kismet phone call came in. St. Jude flew them here. She got to come and have a life-saving operation and got to stay on and get all the medicine that she needed and everything like that. And her mother told the story of, because she was so sick back in the Philippines, she could only watch kids play through the window on a playground.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
But at St. Jude, she was able to go outside and play on a playground for the first time ever. Like, this is the work that they're doing. It's so simple, right? It's so big, but it's also so simple that they're giving kids back their childhoods, but then also their adulthoods.
That's right.
And, their mission is at St. Jude, here in America, you have an 80% survival rate if your child gets diagnosed with cancer, but around the world, it's 20%.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's vital, it's absolutely crucial that St. Jude, whatever they learn here, that they're on the forefront of, right? Creating therapies and new medicines and things like that, that they are then putting that information into a database. There was a wonderful doctor who spoke at one of our sessions too, who said, as a doctor, you're kind of taught that if you figure the thing out, you hold on to it. Wow. You write about it. You publish it in a medical journal.
That's right, because you want the credit.
I mean, think about the person who discovered lime juice pine straw.
I know.
They're in the
journal.
They wanted that in the journal.
Before they're going to share it.
Yes, before they're going to share it, because then you get the Nobel Peace Prize. Then you are revered amongst your fellow doctors. And like, this is a big deal, right?
But at St. Jude, they just
At St. Jude, yep, when you sign on to be a doctor there, you sign on to release all of your findings onto this database immediately.
I love that.
And that way there's no gatekeeping.
That's so great.
And it goes across the world. And doctors then in the Philippines or Russia or wherever can access it and say, oh gosh, I didn't know this is the exact kind of cancer that this child that I'm staring at has.
Right. And some of it's so rare that it may only be the one other kid in Memphis that they're treating and observing.
That was exactly the doctor's point was, you know, some of these are so mutated. They are so foreign. They are attacking with a vengeance. And if we can intercept it, if I can do this research that intercepts it and I can figure that out right away, and this is just 1 + 1 = 2, then why wouldn't I share that?
Yeah.
But like these
and
are
the sooner the better.
These are child's lives on my hand. I vowed to save them.
Yeah.
Saving also means sharing. And I just loved that so much. It's such an incredible way of thinking.
Yeah.
It's not me.
That's right.
But I want to be special.
Yeah. I want the credit.
No, that's not how it works when we are dealing with childhood cancer.
Wow.
And I talked to her afterwards. You know, we hear the statistics in September that 4% of funds go to pediatric cancer research, and all of the cancer research. You know, is that frustrating for you as someone who only works on childhood cancer? And she said it's a numbers game, right? Like, so many more adults have cancer than kids.
Sure.
In a year, I think the number was 440,000 kids get diagnosed with cancer.
That's so many, though.
There are so many adults, millions upon millions. And so she said, listen, it's still not fair. Like, 4% does not make up the total number. 440,000 is not 4% of total people with cancer.
Right.
She said, it is very frustrating for me. But, you know, kids don't get lung cancer. They don't get colon cancer.
Yeah.
And so what I just keep my head down and I just research what I can to find the cures for my patients. And I apply for a lot of grants, and I try to get fellowships, and I try to do all these things. And I said, when do you sleep? And she said, I don't. I caffeinate. That's it. It's too important.
Oh my goodness.
I was like,
her life's mission.
This is her whole, she was phenomenal. And another thing that I said to St. Jude over and over again, and I went up to every person once they got off the stage to tell them how incredible they were, is let's take Kira. Kira is the CFO of St. Jude.
Okay.
She's this tall, commanding woman, right? Yes. And she gets up on stage and she goes, I'm the CFO of St. Jude, so I'm a numbers person, right? Like, I'm just here talking about numbers. And you kind of think, the CFO, what are we going to be listening to for the next half an hour? You're like, okay, a spreadsheet, is Excel coming up here? Within seconds, captivated by her. She had an incredible delivery. She was poignant. She was emotional. She was everything that you want to be in a motivational speaker, let's say.
Love that.
Yet she's the CFO.
Yeah.
Then this doctor comes up and you think, okay, she's going to like be talking about like DNA and like neutrons and protons.
Yeah.
And like, how am I going to hang on to this information? One of the best speakers I've ever seen in my life. Then Jessica gets up. She was a kid who had cancer and went to St. Jude when she was 9. And now she works for them.
Wow.
And she was the best motivational. And every person they pulled up on stage at any time during these 3 days, I thought, this isn't even your job title.
Right.
But
it's the passion. Their passion is coming through because they sincerely care.
They sincerely care about what they do. And there is no way you walk away from St. Jude, that campus, those people, and don't just say, you whatever you want,
I'll
take
do
me.
Anything.
Take me. This is my body. It is your flesh.
Yes.
Take it. Because you just feel it. You feel it from every single person there. And this was not a put on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not that good of actors.
No.
They're freaking doctors.
They're there
and
right
CFOs.
now doing the same thing. Like just being passionate about their role.
It was so incredible to be in that room. And they kept thanking us. thank y'all so much for I know you all have busy lives, you have families,
Aw.
you have followers, you have, you know, all these things that you're committed to, but you chose to come here and spend the time with us to hear about St. Jude, about this. And I thought, no, I'm changed. Like, and I already thought I was. I thought I knew enough, and I thought I knew it all. And I've been talking about St. Jude for so long, but no, you really, to go there and to see it and to feel it and watch the patients and the families. And they ended up having 3 former patients come up on stage and talk to us. And one was an adult, and then 2 had their parents with them. One was the girl from Philippines, and one was a young boy, and his dad was up there with him. And just to hear from them was incredible, because they protect their patients' privacy so much.
Oh, I'm sure.
And, you know, we weren't allowed to take video or film anything in certain places around the campus. But they said, y'all can take pictures of them, talk to them, share any of the words that they have to say. And it was life-changing.
Do you think the TikTokers were as changed as you were?
I don't know.
Guys,
I don't know.
this is my moment. This is my moment.
I know.
I've been marinating, ruminating,
salivating,
thinking about this, because she had posted that many of the influencers that were there,
huge on TikTok,
are big TikTokers.
Y'all would know. Y'all would know, if I knew their names and handles. I'm sure plenty of people who ingest TikTok more than we do, obviously, would be blown away by the people in that room who I was hanging with.
So, but you did a story at one point where you were kind of just like wide-eyed.
We had a rooftop party.
Yeah, and you said they just TikTok all day long. They are doing the dances, they're doing the bits, TikTok. And so I need to know more about this.
It's constant.
I need to understand. I want to know.
It is a lifestyle.
Paint the picture for me.
Okay, so we're having this rooftop party on night 1. Right. Yeah.
I think it was night 1.
It was night 1. So rooftop party, they've hired a fabulous band. It's on the top of the Peabody Hotel. It is the most incredible view of Memphis. You see the Mississippi.
So cool.
You see all the big buildings, because you know we're right downtown, and it's stunning. And St. Jude just throws a good party. Like every detail. There's no detail that is left unturned.
I love that.
It's you know, we're taking inspiration from St. Jude Children's artwork around the hospital.
Oh.
Here's a rainbow that this sweet little girl drew. And so they made that rainbow into the cocktail for the night. And every single layer of color was in the cocktail. And they said, you know, inspired by this. I mean, I'm saying, y'all.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Freaking detail was perfection. That nothing was, and they only started planning. I was shook. They said that they started planning this in February. To get 125 people there from all over the world, y'all. We're not talking United States. People from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. They had a huge Hispanic conglomerate of people who were there, and I think a lot of the TikTokers were too.
Okay.
And so I wasn't speaking a ton to them, only because I took 10 years of Spanish, but I barely know like 10 vocabulary words.
Okay, you need to tell me about the TikTok of it all, because I saw this on your stories, and I'm chomping at the bit. Champing or chomping?
Champing was the original.
Okay, I'm champing at the bit for the TikToks.
It was, I don't know how to explain what it's like, because in my former life, before these last 3 days,
yes,
I've only seen kids do TikTok
doing
dances
the TikToks
in public and posting, right?
Yes.
But to see adults do it.
Oh my gosh.
And beyond influencers in the wild. I'm saying that this is your whole personality.
And your career. This is how you make money.
This is your whole career. It was wild. But I think that people need to listen to the clutter to hear it. So if you want to know what it's like to be in the presence of people, TikTokers with millions and millions of followers, and know what they're really doing and how they're really working the game, you gotta listen to the clutter.
So you're gonna have to wait for the clutter on Thursday.
Yep.
She's finally going to fill me in on this.
Spilling it all.
Oh my gosh, I have been so eager to hear.
So thank y'all for listening to our weekend
update.
Yeah, weekend update, recap, catch up, and we're spending this coming weekend together.
So y'all know we'll have some shenanigans to report on. Some shenanigans.
So to be continued on that.
Yes.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.